According to the blurb, Orctions is a game for 3 to 8 players and takes about 90 minutes to play. And like all great games, Orctions combines fun with strategy. Based around 6 auction techniques and a worker placement mechanic, Orction blends a fantasy world of orcs with classic Roman gladiators. I picked this up at the Board Game Expo in Birmingham a couple of weeks ago at its release. Incidentally, if you didn't go to the expo, make sure you go next year. It was epic. First of all, I must say I'm impressed with the build and the art quality. The box and everything in it has a really nice feel and looks pretty damn good. The rules are a nice easy read, something that can be easy to mess up with complicated rule books sometimes. But if I had a small niggle, it's the order of some of the rules. I felt that during some of the gameplay, hunting for certain rules slowed things down a touch. Onto the gameplay itself. 90 minutes, a group of fairly experienced game players tried this game out and it was well over 90 minutes. We're going to have a second go at this in the future and see if the game decreases, but even if it does, I still feel 90 minutes is a tad on the optimistic side. During the gameplay itself, main issue we had was with the artwork. Looks fantastic, but I feel more obvious colours would have sped the gameplay up. We had trouble working out the fine details on the stats. Also, the yellow and the greens were just a little bit too similar. The board to play the first section of the game looked really good, nice and simple to use. Only thing that we changed as a group, i.e. a house rule, was to roll all the d4s first, and when playing them you had to choose one of the pre-rolls. You could not choose a number on the dice yourself, but had to choose from the available pool of dice. This made the later section of the game, which involved said dice, just that little bit more interesting. In regards to the buying and selling of orcs and buff cards, I felt there was nowhere near enough buff cards. An expansion pack could be good. I would most likely buy that, to be fair. There should also be more options to trade and buy or sell orcs, which would help speed up the first half of the game. Being able to trade 3 for 1 with a bank, being able to buy from the discards at double the cost, something along those lines. The actual auction section itself was loads of fun. Really got everyone in the game involved. Great little mechanic. Also good was the way the auction could change each round. That kept it quite fresh. The fight mechanic on the second part of the game was good and fun to play, but I would have felt better if there was a larger section of buff cards, as I've mentioned before. It was also a little slow, heavily weighted towards the auctioneer itself. Annoyingly, during the first part of the games, all the players were involved, which had kept the game flowing nicely, but during the fighting section, suddenly there were 2 people in the arena who had nothing to do. The pros, it's a good, fun auction game mechanic, nice simple rules, really good artwork. Cons, colours of the cars not come out as vivid as the game's website would suggest to you. This did slow the gameplay down. Fight mechanic could leave other players a little bit bored. Quote of the game, a bit like Monopoly with orcs. Score, 6.5 out of 10. My conclusion, good game, not great, but good. I would consider this a game in beta, but with some modifications this could go from good and played every so often to a regular game I would play. A game to keep an eye on.